think about that now. You're growing up in an environment where you have to be invisible in order to survive, almost. Because we don't know what happened whenever the kids was being taken. You know, we don't know the story of this type of, like, this is a different level of knowing.
Like, what did they do with them? Did they just put them with the colored people and just a random family? What did they do?
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchet REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. Super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 100K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Trevor Noah is used to being in the public eye. But as a boy, his mother Patricia was forced to hide him indoors, away from sight. And she lived in constant fear that the police would take Trevor away from her. In his memoir, Born a Crime, Noah shares his story of growing up in South Africa. Trevor was born to a black mum and a white dad at a time when that was forbidden.
Different races being together was a crime, an official crime. It was an immorality act in the country.
Under the apartheid regime, mixed relationships were illegal, let alone having a child together. In fact, Trevor's parents' love was punishable by up to 5 years in prison.
Hold on, so was he born in during apartheid? Yo.
To a black mom.
You like you about to cry?
I am. I'm a mom.
Don't cry. Y'all told y'all Sierra would be the one get emotional.
I'm sorry.
I'm telling y'all. Listen, this is different, and y'all always
I've never heard of this before.
I've never heard his story, period. Like, I know he was a fire comedian. He does very great on these shows and whatnot, but just to sit back and now take in who he is.
Yes.
Yeah, bro, it's different.
Okay, so before, interracial marriages were legal here. I know of the Loving story and how they kept getting put in jail because they wanted to be together, married.
Yeah.
But a baby is involved.
And you can get your baby taken.
Yes, I haven't heard of this. I have not heard of this. Anytime a person's baby get taken, unless the parents was just some awful parents,
right? My
heart ached for that.
I feel that. No, 100%. Yeah, so let's continue.
To be caught, and the children of such couples were often taken away from their parents. If the police found out about Noah, Patricia would never see her boy again. When she had to take Trevor out alone, she pretended he wasn't hers if she saw the police around. In spite of all her efforts, she was arrested frequently, mostly for being in white neighborhoods past curfew.
She would spend time in jail, whether it be a week or a few weeks. Oftentimes she'd have to pay a month's salary to get out.
During these times, Trevor had to go live with his granny. My grandmother kept me locked in the house. If the police did show up, it was a constant game of hide and seek. Whenever Noah snuck out, he couldn't even make friends. The neighborhood children were scared of him because he was neither black nor white. On top of that, Patricia raised him and his brother on her own, and they struggled to get by.
Writing stories about growing up in a home where we sometimes didn't have food is painful.
However, Noah never felt poor because his mum made sure they had fun times as well. Together, they explored places where they didn't have to spend money. Trevor's favorite memory is of them having picnics of cold meat and butter on bread. Most importantly, Patricia taught her son of a world where good things are possible. When people told her she was wasting her time, Patricia stood her ground.
She still painted a positive image for this young man. So when he grew up in society, he's not mad and angry and bitter and just full of hate towards society because, think about that now. You're growing up in an environment where you have to be invisible in order to survive, almost. Because we don't know what happened whenever the kids was being taken. You know, we don't know the story of this type of, like, this is a different level of knowing.
Like, what did they do with them? Did they just put them with the colored people and just a random family? What did they do? I'm looking at the picture of this.
That boy has a strong mama.
She looks so freaking young.
She was strong, man. Yeah.
But if he never leaves the ghetto, he'll know that the ghetto is not the world. She taught Trevor that his voice and ideas were important and expanded his thinking. Today, the lessons Patricia imparted to her son helps him in his career.
I don't exist in a world where I only listen to the people I agree with, because then how will I ever know how to dismantle or think about your arguments in a different way?
When Trevor turned 10, apartheid finally fell. But he was yet to face the biggest challenge of his life. He almost lost his mum. After Patricia parted ways with Trevor's dad, she married Abel, and he made their lives a living hell. He was kind to her in public, but cruel behind closed doors. During his teenage years, Noah couldn't protect his beloved mum from Abel.
Remembering stories of growing up in a home of domestic abuse, painful stories.
What's worse, he often overheard people telling her she was overreacting or that she did something to deserve it. While Patricia struggled to break free from her domestic horrors, Trevor could no longer tolerate it. To make a living, he sold pirated music and DJ'd at gigs. Trevor did everything for a better life. He learned English, started acting, and did stand-up comedy. Little by little, he became successful. And a few years later, he started winning the hearts of international audiences on tours. It seemed like his mother's words were true all along, and the sky was the limit. Knowing how much she meant to him, no one could understand why Trevor no longer visited Patricia. He still loved his mother and cared for her a lot, but Noah couldn't bear seeing her hurt by his stepfather any longer. So when Patricia finally decided to leave Abel after more than a decade, Trevor was over the moon, until a phone call shattered the comedian's happiness. In a fit of rage, Abel had shot Patricia in the face and back, and few thought she'd survive. He also threatened to come after Noah too, because he'd paid for Patricia's treatment in a private hospital.
Miraculously, she came out on the other side with no permanent damage.
Wow.
In the end, Trevor's former stepfather was...
Wow. Yo, that's big. That is big. She's a miracle. She raised a miracle, and she came out on top, even after the things that she went through. That is big.
I am speechless.
Wow.
I just thought that this was going to be a regular story like we've been hearing.
Only sentenced to probation. For a long time, Noah was consumed by anger and bitterness. When his mother told him she didn't hate her ex-husband, Trevor was astounded. Patricia asked her son to stop hating Abel for his horrific acts and to rather pity him. She didn't want to carry the burden of hatred, so she found the strength to forgive Abel. It took Trevor years and writing his memoir to finally make sense of it all. I was lucky enough to be in the shadow of a giant. My mum's magic dust sprinkled on me, and I hope I have enough of it to be as brave as she was and continues to be. Patricia became the example Trevor chose to live by every day. His difficult life and his mother's silent strength inspired him to follow his dreams. As the busiest man in comedy, he continues to spread laughter and love, but he'll never forget his roots and the woman who's always been his greatest cheerleader. There's no greater warrior than a mother.
No lie, boy. Ooh, hey, a mama's love is different. Ooh.
Lord.
Hey, a mama's love is different. Man, like, first of all, him coming out on top after all that he went through as a child is just a story that needs to be heard. Period. Like, dude's story is so different. He coming from, y'all know about the era of apartheid. Y'all know how it went down. And you still came out to be one of the greatest comedians, well-known faces internationally. You know what I'm saying?
In another country. Well, not in another country. I'm saying, like, he moved to another country, but internationally.
But came out on top.
Like, his mom told him, this is not the best. There's so much great out there for you. This is a child who was hidden for 10 years.
She installed a lot during that time. And I also feel like with a mama, she sees your future before you do. And she installed into him what he can be, and that where he's at is not his last stomping ground. You're gonna grow out of this, you know what I'm saying? And I man, that's different, bro. Like,
and she even taught him not to hate people.
Then he went out there and learned languages. He learned different jobs and trades. He took it upon himself to push. You feel me? By himself.
Whew. I couldn't.
Man, it put a smile on my face, and at the same time, it is very bothersome because the what ifs are so was right down his reach. every second, literally.
I could not imagine having to hide my child. I will be jailed because I had a child.
And your child taken.
With someone who looks differently than I do. Like, what?
That separation was still at a peak. They wanted that.
I'm just caught on that. We gotta end this video. I'm caught on that. Like, what? Like, hey. All right, y'all. We hope you guys appreciated this video. Not enjoyed. Whatever. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like support the channel that way, as well as our reaction request form is in our description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.